Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of US history, the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter. This isn't just any quarter, it's a coin with a story, a mystery, and a value that might just blow your mind. If you think quarters are only worth 25 cents, you're about to be very surprised. So stick with me, and enjoy this deep dive into what makes the Oklahoma quarter from 2008 a must-have for collectors, and why some of these coins have skyrocketed in value. The 2008 Oklahoma quarter was part of the United States Mint's famous 50-state quarters program, a series that captured the hearts of coin collectors and everyday Americans alike. Each state's quarter showcased unique symbols, landmarks, or historical references. Oklahoma's design features an image of the famous Indian blanket flower alongside a scissor-tailed flycatcher, the state bird. It's a beautiful coin that pays tribute to Oklahoma's natural heritage and pride, but here's where things get interesting. While millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, certain rare errors and variations have turned some Oklahoma quarters into prized collector's items. Errors that occurred during the minting process can range from double dies, off-center strikes, to unusual metal composition, all of which can significantly increase a coin's value. And believe me, collectors are always on the hunt for these unique anomalies. One of the most fascinating error types discovered in the 2008 Oklahoma quarter is the double die. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice, slightly offset, creating a doubled image on the coin. This kind of minting mistake isn't just a cool visual trick, it's a rarity that makes the coin incredibly desirable. The double die error is hard to spot with the naked eye but can add thousands of dollars to the coin's worth for serious collectors. Another rare feature collectors watch out for is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being struck, but the design is shifted so it's not perfectly centered. This gives the coin a unique, somewhat distorted appearance and is a fascinating example of minting error. Off-center strikes are far less common than regular coins, and their value depends on how off-center the image is and how much of the design remains visible. But wait, the story gets even more exciting. Some of these quarters were struck on wrong metal planchets, meaning the coin was accidentally made with the wrong metal composition, such as a copper planchet instead of the usual clad metal. These wrong planchet errors are rare and can fetch high prices among collectors, as they are considered freaks of the minting process. Now, you might be wondering, what's the actual worth of these special 2008 Oklahoma quarters? While the average quarter is just 25 cents, the rare error coins can be valued much higher. Depending on the error's severity, condition, and rarity, prices can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars. And here comes the jaw-dropping part: a perfect specimen of a rare error Oklahoma quarter, especially a double die or a significant off-center strike, can fetch an astonishing $70,000. Yes, you heard that right, $70,000 for a single Oklahoma quarter. It's the kind of find that turns an ordinary coin collector into a legend overnight. So, if you have a 2008 Oklahoma quarter in your collection or if you find one in your change, take a closer look. It might be worth more than you ever imagined. Always check for unusual doubling, off-center designs, or odd metal color. And if you think you found something special, get it professionally graded and authenticated. It could be your ticket to a treasure trove. Top 2, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and valuable quarters in the United States series, the 2006 Nebraska State Quarter. If you think all quarters are just everyday change, think again. This coin holds some fascinating secrets, rare errors, and an astonishing potential value that every collector needs to hear about. So grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because this story is packed with surprises and valuable insights. Listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you might be sitting on a coin worth more than you ever imagined. The 2006 Nebraska quarter is part of the famous 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, capturing the unique spirit and history of every state. Nebraska's quarter proudly features a beautiful image of Chimney Rock, an iconic natural landmark that was a guiding beacon for pioneers traveling the Oregon Trail. Behind Chimney Rock is a covered wagon, symbolizing the adventurous spirit of those early settlers. This design perfectly captures Nebraska's rich history and place in the story of America's westward expansion, but while millions of these quarters were produced and entered circulation, a handful of Nebraska quarters have become legendary among collectors due to rare errors and unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. These aren't just coins. You're looking at pieces of history with unique minting quirks that can turn a humble quarter into a priceless treasure. One of the most exciting types of errors that collectors look for on the Nebraska quarter is the infamous double die. This error happens during the minting process when the coin's design is stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a doubling effect on the images or text. On the Nebraska quarter, this can show up as doubled lettering or doubled images on Chimney Rock or the covered wagon, making the coin stand out from all others. The double die error is rare, and coins showing this error in pristine condition can command huge prices on the market. Another rare and highly sought-after feature is the off-center strike. Imagine the coin being stamped, but the design isn't perfectly aligned in the center, it's shifted to one side, sometimes dramatically so. These off-center Nebraska quarters are much scarcer than regular quarters, and their uniqueness makes them very popular with collectors. The value depends on just how off-center the strike is and how much of the design is visible. The more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin. Then there's the matter of metal composition errors. Some Nebraska quarters have been found struck on the wrong metal planchets, essentially, the metal blanks used to create coins. Instead of the usual copper-nickel clad, some rare Nebraska quarters were accidentally minted on pure copper or other unusual metal blanks. These wrong planchet errors are some of the rarest and most sought after, often fetching prices well above typical coin values. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of price tag are we talking about for these rare Nebraska quarters? Well, for a standard 2006 Nebraska quarter in average circulated condition, it's worth its face value, 25 cents. But a coin with these rare errors, especially a clean double die or an extreme off-center strike, can be worth a lot more. Think hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. And here's the jaw-dropping part: if you happen to find one of the rarest error Nebraska quarters in flawless, uncirculated condition, it could be worth an astounding $78,000. Yes, $78,000 for a single 25-cent coin. This is the kind of value that turns casual collectors into legends and ordinary coins into once-in-a-lifetime treasures. So, the next time you're sorting through your change or digging through an old coin collection, don't overlook that 2006 Nebraska quarter. Take a close look, check for doubled images, off-center designs, or unusual metal coloring. If you spot something unusual, get it professionally graded. It could be your golden ticket. Top 3, we're heading deep into the heart of Appalachia to explore one of the most fascinating, and surprisingly valuable, coins from the United States State Quarter Series, the 2005 West Virginia quarter. Now, at first glance, this coin might look like any other quarter you've seen in your spare change. But trust me, there's more to this Mountain State marvel than meets the eye. Stay with us, because if you've got one of these quarters sitting in a jar somewhere, you might just be holding on to a small piece of American history that could be worth a small fortune. Let's start with a little background. In 2005, as part of the 50 State Quarters program, the U.S. Mint released a coin honoring West Virginia. The design on the reverse side proudly features the New River Gorge Bridge, one of the longest steel arch bridges in the world and an engineering marvel nestled in the Appalachian Mountains. It's a symbol of strength, connection, and the unbreakable spirit of West Virginia. But what makes this quarter stand out isn't just its scenic beauty, it's the rarity and the hidden surprises that can be found in a small number of these coins. You see, most 2005 West Virginia quarters are just worth their face value, 25 cents. But collectors are always on the lookout for something called error coins. These are coins that were minted with mistakes that weren't caught before they left the mint. And in the world of coin collecting, the right kind of mistake can be worth big money. Some of the rarest and most sought-after 2005 West Virginia quarters have what's known as a double die error. That's when the design on the coin appears to be doubled, especially on the text or finer details. It's a minting error that occurs when the coin is struck more than once, creating a shadow-like effect that can be seen with the naked eye, Or more clearly under magnification, there are also quarters from this year with off-center strikes, where the image is not properly aligned with the coin's edge, and die cracks, which look like raised lines or lightning bolts running across the coin's surface. These kinds of flaws make each coin unique, and that's exactly what drives collectors wild. But here's the catch: condition matters. A coin that's been jingling in your pocket for years is going to have wear and scratches, which lowers its value. But a 2005 West Virginia quarter in mint state, especially one with a clear and dramatic error, is a whole different story. These are the coins that collectors dream about. They're rare, they're eye-catching, and they tell a story of a mistake-turned masterpiece. Imagine finding one of these rare gems, untouched by circulation, with a perfect mint error that sets it apart from millions of others. Sounds exciting, right? Well, get ready for the big reveal, because if you happen to own one of these rare, mint error 2005 West Virginia quarters in flawless, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin valued at up to $40,000. That's right, one little quarter, worth more than some cars, more than some people's yearly salary, just sitting in your collection. Or maybe even in your change jar.so. Take a second look at those coins lying around. You never know what hidden treasures are waiting to be discovered. Top 4, we're diving into one of the earliest gems in the United States State Quarter series, the 2000 New Hampshire quarter. This quarter might seem like a regular piece of pocket change, but for those who know what to look for, it holds incredible secrets, rare minting errors, and a value that can make your jaw drop. So listen closely, because by the end of this video, you could be looking at a coin worth more than you ever imagined. The 2000 New Hampshire quarter was the fourth release in the groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. This coin features the Old Man of the Mountain, a famous natural rock formation that once stood tall in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Although the formation sadly collapsed in 2003, it remains a beloved symbol of the state and a testament to New Hampshire's rugged beauty. Surrounding the rock face is the inscription, "Live free or die," the state motto that perfectly captures the independent spirit of the granite state. It's a design rich in history and meaning, making this quarter a favorite for collectors right from the start. But here's where it gets really exciting. While millions of New Hampshire quarters were minted and circulated, a handful have surfaced with rare errors and unique traits that have sent collectors into a frenzy. These aren't just any quarters, they are coins that hold stories of minting anomalies that can turn a simple 25-cent piece into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. One of the most coveted errors is the double die. This error happens when the coin's design is stamped twice during production, but slightly misaligned, causing a doubling effect on the images or lettering. On the New Hampshire quarter, this can show up as doubled text or a doubled outline of the Old Man of the Mountain itself. This subtle but distinct doubling makes the coin instantly stand out from ordinary quarters and is highly prized among collectors. Then there's the rare off-center strike. This minting mistake occurs when the coin blank isn't properly aligned during stamping, resulting in a design that's shifted away from the center. Some off-center New Hampshire quarters have enough design visible to still be recognizable, making them fascinating one-of-a-kind errors. The rarity and degree of off-centering play a huge role in how much collectors are willing to pay for these unique coins, and if that's not enough, a few New Hampshire quarters were minted on wrong metal planchets, essentially, the metal discs used to make the coins. Instead of the usual copper-nickel clad, some coins were accidentally struck on pure copper blanks or other unusual metals. These wrong planchet errors are some of the rarest and most valuable mint mistakes around, drawing huge interest from collectors worldwide. Now, you might be wondering, what's the actual value of these error coins? For a typical circulated 2000 New Hampshire quarter, you're looking at face value, just 25 cents. But when you factor in these rare minting errors, values can climb dramatically. A double die or a well-preserved off-center strike can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on the coin's condition, and here comes the astonishing reveal: a perfect, professionally graded New Hampshire quarter with a major mint error, such as a dramatic double die or significant off-center strike, can be worth an incredible $79,000. Yes, $79,000 for a single quarter that most people overlook every day. So, the next time you come across a 2000 New Hampshire quarter, don't just toss it in your change jar. Take a close look, inspect the lettering, the image of the Old Man of the Mountain, and check if the design is perfectly centered or if there's any sign of doubling. If you notice something unusual, it's worth getting it professionally graded and authenticated. That humble quarter could be the key to unlocking a fortune. Top 5, we're exploring a truly remarkable piece of American history and numismatics, the 2000 Virginia State Quarter. This quarter isn't just another 25-cent coin. It holds deep symbolism, fascinating design, and, most importantly, some incredible rare minting errors that could turn this everyday coin into a collector's goldmine. So listen closely and get ready to uncover what makes the Virginia Quarter so special, and why some examples of this coin are worth a small fortune. The 2000 Virginia Quarter was part of the groundbreaking 50-state quarters program, which took America by storm between 1999 and 2008. Virginia's quarter pays tribute to the Mother of Presidents, with images that celebrate its historical significance. On this coin, you'll see the famous three ships, Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, that carried the first English settlers to Jamestown, America's first permanent English colony. Alongside the ships, there's a depiction of the state's motto, Virginia 1607, marking the year Jamestown was founded. This quarter beautifully captures the roots of American history and Virginia's vital role in shaping the nation, but while millions of these quarters were minted and entered circulation, there is a fascinating world of errors and rare variations that make certain Virginia quarters incredibly valuable and sought after by collectors worldwide. These errors are what transform an ordinary quarter into a coveted numismatic treasure. One of the most eye-catching errors found on the 2000 Virginia quarter is the doubled die. This error happens when the coin's design is struck twice in slightly different positions, creating a visible doubling effect on the letters or images. On the Virginia quarter, the doubling can often be seen on the word Virginia or the ships themselves. This error is subtle but unmistakable to the trained eye and can dramatically increase the coin's value. Another thrilling variation to watch for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that's shifted toward one edge of the coin. Some off-center Virginia quarters reveal partial designs that make each coin completely unique. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors love these one-of-a-kind quirks because they tell a story of how the coin was made. There are also rare instances where the Virginia quarter was minted on a wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank was not the usual copper-nickel clad composition. Sometimes, these quarters were struck on pure copper planchets or other unexpected metals, creating wrong planchet errors. These coins are incredibly rare and attract serious interest from collectors, often commanding impressive prices. So, what's the value of these rare 2000 Virginia quarters? For the average quarter in circulation, it's just 25 cents. But the rare error coins, especially those with double dies, off-center strikes, or wrong planchets, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on condition and rarity. And here's the mind-blowing part: a perfect, flawless Virginia quarter with a significant error, professionally graded and authenticated, can be worth a staggering $77,000. That's right, $77,000 for a single quarter that many people use without a second thought. If you have a 2000 Virginia quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for any signs of doubling on the text or images, check if the design is centered, and notice any unusual metal color or texture. If you find anything that seems out of the ordinary, it's worth getting it professionally appraised. You could be holding a rare gem that's worth far more than face value. Top 6, we're diving into one of the most historic and valuable coins in the U.S. State Quarter series, the 1999 New Jersey Quarter. If you think quarters are just small, everyday coins, think again. This particular coin hides incredible stories, rare minting errors, and an astonishing potential value that can turn a simple quarter into a jaw-dropping collector's prize. So, listen carefully and stay with me, because by the end of this video, you could be holding a coin worth way more than you ever imagined. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter was the second release in the iconic 50-state quarters program, which captivated collectors and the public alike. This quarter features a striking image of George Washington crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War, a momentous event that symbolizes courage, strategy, and determination. Below the scene, you'll see the word Liberty and the year, 1999, as well as the state name, New Jersey. The design perfectly captures a defining chapter of American history and New Jersey's crucial role in the birth of the nation. While millions of these quarters were produced and put into circulation, some New Jersey quarters stand apart due to rare minting errors and unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. These aren't just coins, they're fascinating anomalies that collectors dream of finding. One of the most captivating errors is the doubled die. This error happens when the coin's design is struck more than once in a slightly misaligned manner, causing a noticeable doubling effect on letters or images. On the New Jersey quarter, this doubling can appear on the words Liberty or New Jersey, or even on details of Washington's figure and the boat. This doubling is subtle but unmistakable once you know what to look for, and coins with clear double die errors can fetch significant premiums in the market. Another rare and exciting variety is the off-center strike. This error occurs when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned during striking, leading to the design being shifted away from the coin center. These off-center New Jersey quarters are highly prized because every one is unique. Some reveal dramatic portions of the design missing, making them true one-of-a-kind collector's items. The more extreme the off-centering, the more valuable the coin becomes. Then there are the rare, wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, a New Jersey quarter was struck on the wrong metal blank, such as a pure copper planchet instead of the typical copper-nickel clad. These wrong planchet coins are extremely rare and sought after because they're so unusual and stand out from the thousands of normally minted quarters. So, what's the actual value here? A standard 1999 New Jersey quarter in circulated condition is worth its face value of 25 cents. But when you find one with these rare errors, especially a pronounced doubled die, off-center strike, or wrong planchet, the value skyrockets. Depending on the rarity and condition, these error coins can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even more. And now for the incredible reveal: if you have a pristine, professionally graded 1999 New Jersey quarter with one of these major mint errors, it could be worth an eye-popping $87,000. Yes, you heard that right, $87,000 for a single 25-cent coin. This kind of value turns ordinary quarters into priceless treasures. So, next time you handle a 1999 New Jersey quarter, examine it closely. Look for any doubling in the lettering, off-center designs, or unusual metal color. If something catches your eye, have it professionally graded and authenticated. You might be holding a rare piece that's worth far beyond its face value. Top 7 and last rare coin, we're turning our spotlight onto an often underestimated treasure, the 2002 Ohio quarter from the United States State Quarter Series. At first glance, this quarter might seem like just another piece of pocket change, but if you look a little closer, you'll discover a fascinating story of history, rarity, and minting errors that could make this coin worth a small fortune. So, listen carefully, because what you're about to learn could change the way you look at your loose change forever. The 2002 Ohio quarter is part of the celebrated 50 state quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008, aiming to honor each state's unique history and heritage. Ohio's quarter proudly features the famous Wright Flyer, the airplane that changed the world with the Wright brothers' first powered flight in 1903. Alongside this iconic image, the coin also includes a portrait of the Wright brothers themselves, making this design a tribute to innovation and the pioneering spirit that defines Ohio. This combination of symbols makes the Ohio quarter a standout piece of American history and a favorite among collectors. Millions of these quarters were minted and entered circulation, but among them, a select few possess rare errors and unusual characteristics that dramatically increase their value. For collectors, these rare minting mistakes turn an everyday coin into a dazzling find. One of the most sought-after errors on the 2002 Ohio quarter is the doubled die. This happens when the coin's design is stamped twice with a slight misalignment, creating a doubled image effect. On the Ohio quarter, the doubling can be noticed in the lettering, sometimes in Ohio, Liberty, or the date, or even on the intricate details of the Wright Flyer. This subtle doubling is highly prized because it's both rare and visually distinctive. Another exciting variety to watch for is the off-center strike. This minting mishap occurs when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned in the press, resulting in part of the design missing or shifted toward one side. The degree of off-centering greatly impacts the rarity and value. Coins with dramatic off-center strikes become some of the most fascinating and valuable error coins in circulation. Additionally, there are rare instances of wrong planchet errors, where the Ohio quarter was struck on a metal blank not intended for that coin. Imagine finding a quarter struck on a copper planchet instead of the usual copper-nickel clad. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare and attract serious attention from collectors, often commanding premium prices. Now, you might be wondering about the actual value of these error coins. For an ordinary circulated 2002 Ohio quarter, you're looking at face value, just 25 cents. However, when you factor in these rare errors, the price can increase dramatically. Depending on the error type and condition, these quarters can fetch hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. And here's the jaw-dropping news: a flawless, professionally graded 2002 Ohio quarter with a major mint error, like a significant double die or a dramatic off-center strike, can be worth an astonishing $68,000. That's $68,000 for a single quarter that most people overlook. So, the next time you find a 2002 Ohio quarter in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Inspect the lettering for doubling, check if the design is perfectly centered, and notice if the coin's metal looks unusual. If anything seems off, get it appraised by a professional coin grader. It might just be your ticket to a rare and valuable treasure. Thanks for joining me on this fascinating journey into the world of the 2002 Ohio quarter. If you enjoyed learning about rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on future exciting coin discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your coins surprise you with their hidden value.